Lesson 119 is about finding a whole when a percent is known. And our first question says, 30% of what number is 120? Now for this problem, it's very helpful to take our percentages and make them fractions. So percents always mean out of 100, so 30% must be 30 out of 100, which can be reduced to 3/10. So 30% of what number is 120? Well, we've got 3/10, so we can make a diagram box to help us with this question. We're going to make a diagram box, and it's got to have 10 spaces because our denominator is 10. That's our whole. That's only 9, so we need to add a 10th box in the bottom. And then we've got all 10 in our diagram box, and it says 30% of what number is 120. So 30%, that would be 3/10. So 3/10 would be our first 3 spots. And 30% of what number is 120. So this is 120. And if we break 120 into our 3 equal positions, we get 40 in each position. Now again, like we've seen before, the nice thing about diagram boxes is each one has the same value. So we fill in our 40s all the way down. So if we want to figure out 30% of what number is 120, we need to figure out what our whole is, because that's the number we're looking for. So since we have 10 spots in our diagram box with 40 in each, well, 10 times 40, 1 times 4 is 4, and then we've got a 0 and a 0, so we get 400. 30% of 400 is 120. Using a diagram box like this when we're finding a whole, when we're given a percent, is a very helpful way to solve the problem. But we've got to remember to turn the percent to a fraction first. We've got another example. Let's look at this one. 16 is 25% of what number? Now 25%, well, that's the same thing as saying 25 hundredths. And that's like saying 1/4 out of a dollar, or 1/4, which is the same as 1/4. So in this problem, we're going to say we've got a diagram box with 4 equal positions. Now we've got to fill each of those positions equally. 16 is 25% of what number? So it's 25%, that's 1/4. So we must only have our top piece. 16 is that 1/4. So 16. Well, 16 in one box must be 16. Then we've got to have 16s all the way through. So 16 is 25% of what number? Well, we're going to have 4 total spaces with 16 in each. So 4 times 16 will give us our answer. 4 times 6, that's 24. We'll carry our 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 more gives us 6. So we get 64. 16 is 25% of 64, because 16 is 1/4 of 64. It's important in these problems that you always take the percent and you change it to a fraction, and then you can make your diagram box to solve. Our lesson practice will be on page 644. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.